Yeah, was good.
History, as we know it, keeps culture alive. It tells the stories of successes, struggles, momentous victories, provides resolve, and sets precedents for future educational, business, and justice gains. History also tells us about those of talent, art, athletics, and fame, revealing truths and defining the foundation of those lives. I'm Ula Gomes, and this is History from the Other Side.
Class initials was good.
All right, what up, yo? Wild tracks, we.
How's it? How's it? Welcome. All right, right. Okay, guys. So, welcome to the live. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. We have a guest from Stapleton, correct?
Yep,
And this is Stapleton's own Wild Tracks. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm gravy.
That's good. That's good. Nice to meet you.
All right, likewise, likewise.
So,
Word up.
this is classes in session. So we want to dig into your story. We call it history, his story. So we want to talk about you and Stapleton and your position in the game, and you know all the endeavors that you had from when you were in Stapleton, from when you were a youngin, I guess, a
Mhm.
youngin to your successes and all and your journey. So first of all, tell us about Stapleton and your affiliation, who you
Man,
are, and all of that. Your a little bit of background on yourself.
all right. Well, I was born in Brooklyn, and my fam moved to Staten Island when I was about 5 years old. We moved to New Brighton first, and then we landed in the town Stapleton when I was about 7 years of age. And
Okay.
man, listen, Stapleton is about everything that you heard.
A lot of talent from Stapleton.
Yes, a whole lot of talent, lots of talent, talent that man. I mean, there's so much talent out there. If everyone was focused, would have made it.
Right,
Indefinite.
Yo,
right.
Stapleton. When he says so much talent, Stapleton is like seriously like the gift, the gifts of athletics, the gifts of like extremely talented. I'm talking about football. We never won a game playing football against Stapleton. Like them dudes, I'm being real, yo. I can't
I
remember
heard
winning.
that.
You know what I'm
Oh
saying? And
man, yo, that was a rivalry for real, yo. Yeah,
rivalry,
yeah,
like man.
yeah.
And you know what's funny? That would from what I remember, that was actually the time you get a pass to actually be out there. To get your
Yo,
ass
So,
whooped. Now
Stapleton
go
was
home.
big, yo. On some real, yo, I'm gonna keep it real, yo. It was, yo, Stapleton was tough, yo. If you didn't live out there, you do not walk through Stapleton like it was all right. It was not good for you. Real
yeah,
talk.
give us a little bit of build a little bit of a visionary of Stapleton and the projects over there and how everything. Because what I heard is like, okay, we have Stapleton, and then we have Park Hill, which we're definitely gonna be talking about later. But we're focusing on Stapleton. So like give us a little bit of visionary of the setup. And I saw a few videos on
Mhm.
Stapleton and everything. So I mean it's really something to want to learn about and tell the people, tell us, the
Okay.
audience. Yeah. Give us a little bit, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Well, I mean, there's so much to say about Stapleton. I just need to know exactly what it is that you need to know, because I'm not going to,
Oh, here, like this. How about this? Tell us about birthday age Dreyfus.
Oh, 49.
Oh, okay.
That was like the shit. That was like the neutral ground for Stapleton, Park Hill, and South Beach. That was our school.
Okay.
Yo, real talk. Like what I remember my first year in birthday age Dreyfus is IS 49, and in the 6th grade, I can't remember what year that was. What was it? 80, 87 maybe? No, 88, 89,
Yeah.
90. Yeah, because I graduated. Yeah, I graduated in 90. Word. So
Yeah,
88.
Yeah.
88. You know what I'm saying? 88 going to 49. It was like the first thing the biggest thing I remember. Most importantly, the most important thing I remember from watching movies and shit like that was, yo, I get to have my own locker. That's what I looked forward to more than anything, getting my own locker. But then they only had lockers in the gym.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like what I thought it was and shit.
Nah,
So
it wasn't
that was like the first thing.
There was no locker rooms. We wasn't getting that. Nah, it was right there near the entrance.
Word.
Right near the entrance. That's it. Ain't no personal.
And then yo, one thing, like, even though that, like, with this being classes in session and this show is based upon education and a mixture of hip hop and to show how hip hop is life, one thing I can honestly say is a lot of the curriculums were genuine. When I say genuine, things that you can actually obtain a skill with. We had wood class. We had typing class. I remember, you know what I'm saying? It was a classroom full of typewriters and shit. And everybody be in there like boom, boom, boom. And they'd be like, yo, keep your fingers on the guide keys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we learn how to type. You learn how to like carve wood. We learn how to do pottery, sculpture, with the wheels spinning and all that and shit. You make the little ashtrays and all that or whatever. Well, my first ashtray, it looked ugly. I made a Picasso. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was just something else. But
we was also making chocolate there.
Huh?
We was also making chocolate there.
Really?
Word.
What? Tell us about that.
Yo, I forgot the teacher's name, but this dude, we got to watch him because he used to dig up his nose and sticking his finger in the chocolate and shit.
Oh.
Yo, hold up. I don't remember, but I remember that. I remember that. And we used to be like, yo, and then he'd be like, yo, you want to taste it? Like, nah, I don't want to taste that. You want to stuck your finger in it, man. Get out of here.
know.
Whoa. But hold on. Speaking of that, I got one for you. Remember Mr. and Mrs. Morris?
Oh my God.
Everybody wanted Miss Morris?
Yo. That was the reason to go to school.
There's always that one teacher. There's always that one teacher.
You was definitely going to her class. You was definitely not going to her class.
Yo, word is born. We did not cut that class just to watch her.
Oh man, we was little hot dogs, yo.
Yo.
Okay,
hold on.
Was that?
If we're gonna go there, then let's go to the other side. Let's go to the opposite of Miss Morris. You remember Miss Gross?
Yeah.
Miss Gross, fat, nasty. Yo, word is born.
Again.
Huge, nasty teacher, yo. She looked at, yo, she was just something else, man.
Her name fit her well. Just put it that way.
Yeah, her name fit her well. And you know what's ironic? We
That
actually
really was her
located her
name?
vehicle. We check it. We located her vehicle, and I'll never forget. I remember looking in it. It was a station wagon. I looked in it, and it had chocolate bars and candy wrappers and potato chips
Oh,
wrappers. Yo, she was really gross,
gross.
yo.
Yo,
Whoa,
That really was her name, Miss Gross?
yes,
Oh
100%,
man. She had to
100%.
live up to her name then, huh?
She lived up to
yeah,
her name, real,
yeah.
real.
Real talk,
But
real talk.
but
But
one of
what was the
my favorite class though was science, where yo, and that's another thing. Like we saying all of these, they took all that stuff out of school, but in science we had microscopes on every table.
yeah,
You know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
And we learn how to look at bacteria through the
all that
microscope and
chemistry
all
stuff.
that.
We had chemistry stats. We had chemistry
Yo, that's
stats.
funny.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
But
really
at that
funny.
time, you got to think about the funding for the schools at that time was
mm.
pretty great on Staten Island. They were spending that money. It was called
Well,
Richmond County for a reason.
Richmond County,
Because
okay.
yeah, it was called Richmond County for a reason. Because seriously, we was being schooled a tad bit better than most in the city.
Nice.
That's why
facts.
when you speak with us, our vocabulary is pretty is distant. We can go far with it, and
Facts.
As
when you
compared to what people say, people from the projects, you meaning?
right, basically,
You guys were being
we was
very
educated.
educated.
Yes, we was. Yes, we was.
Yes.
That's one
Yes.
thing. That's one thing that Staten Island was big on education.
Nice. Nice.
Well, as ghetto or street as we were,
Yeah.
we really studied. We really took vocabulary and studying all that. I mean, even at that time, a lot of us came into knowledge of self super early, watching
Hmm.
older gods and all that, which is the 5% Nation of Islam, which is like a cousin. It's a cousin culture to a Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They don't
Hmm.
call it a religion, but at the end of the day, um, I
The studies
remember
were pretty
there was
much.
a dude in Stapleton that
Hmm.
yo, I used to just watch him and he'll be talking and I was so impressed with how articulate he was. I used to say I want to be like that. Like this is I never even told nobody like this right
That's why
here.
the
But
lyrics be hot coming out of Stapleton.
I'm trying to figure out who he's talking about because we had a lot of older guards at that time that was definitely jeweling people, yo. They were they
yeah,
was really they was really dropping a lot of jewels, and even for the blind, they caught the ear, you
facts.
know.
I can't honestly I wouldn't know his name. I just remember his face in my head. But
Mhm.
all I remember was every time I would see him, you know what I'm saying, he would talk or somebody would act like they had knowledge of self or something like that, and he'd catch him. He'll catch him
Right,
and really, really, really take him to court with it. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I always was open and fascinated over his vocabulary. And I said, yo, I wonder when I get older, I want to talk just like that, yo. And that's kind of how I came into the whole knowledge of self thing or whatever. Well,
Mhm.
and it's funny because I say that, I say that, and that's me actually skipping over a whole time and era because, truth be told, if we back up, it I wasn't around Stapleton cats like that. Like we Stapleton and Park Hill cats never could really be around each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were really rivals and didn't like the
Mm.
both projects just didn't like each other. We used to call it like the hillbillies and the whatever other the hillbillies and the Billy Bobs or some type of mess or whatever. Like we didn't even know
Nah.
why we
We
didn't even
was
like
calling
each other
y'all.
type. Like,
Nah,
but
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is that we was calling y'all Hillians.
Lineage.
Facts. But at the time, I remember like this. I remember they were called the Black Posse, and Halloween, every Halloween, we would have egg fights. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know what I'm saying? We go get cartons of eggs and all that. In the stores, they would actually save expired eggs and hold them just for us. And then they'll sell them to us. And we'll buy them up by the loads.
Yeah,
Osgood's store was saving for us. All the stores around the neighborhood were saving for us. You know what I'm saying? Where we used to get the sandwiches from and all that with the juice and shit. But we would have wars in the hill. Boom. Egg fights everywhere. It's like, yo, don't come out if you don't want to get hit with an egg. If you ain't somebody, you're gonna get tested. You know what I'm saying? Even people that were somebody, because they were actually out there playing too. You know what I'm saying? It was just egg war. You know what I mean? You don't wear no new clothes because you're gonna get egged up. You know what I'm saying? And if you got caught by, you know what I'm saying, one of the crews at the time, it was the Wreck Posse, the Junior Wreck, and the Baby Wreck. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, it'd be like Stapleton, again, they were known as the Black Posse, as I remember. But at night, no, like in the afternoon, they'd be like, yo, we're gonna invade Stapleton. I'll never forget this. This is my first time going through Stapleton. It's like, yo, just got the whole hill together. Like everybody from the hill just all came together.
Going through Stapleton.
And we was like, yo, we're going to invade Stapleton. You know what I'm saying? And God bless the dead. 2 Cent was one of the heads of that. You know what I'm saying? And yo, we went down there. I can't even tell you how many of us it was, but I'll tell you honestly, it was loads. It was loads. And we ran through there. We ran through there. And I remember people this was my first time actually in Stapleton. And I felt comfortable because it was all of us. But it was like, I never forget, there was people on the balconies and they looking off and they like, God damn, I never knew that there was this many Park Hill dudes. I remember hearing the girls say that. The girls, they was on the balcony like, yo, this is all Park Hill. And yo, we was just running through there. And Cass wasn't out. You know what I mean? The few that was there, they were like, we was really that deep. You know what I'm saying? And they came back. They came back later. They came back. And when they came back to the hill, what I remember that night, it was like, they was like, yo, it's good. Cause I lived in 160 and I remember it was just mad Stapleton dudes out there and came downstairs like, yo, cause you know, you get the call, yo, Stapleton is out here, blah, 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 this and that. So I came downstairs and I just remember just looking at dudes. Dudes all had this mad evil look and all that. I'm like, and they like, nah, we good. Yo, we getting together and we going to Rosebank. And we went and hit Rosebank. You know what I'm saying? And it was like Rosebank, that's what them devils is. You know what I'm saying? And in Rosebank, you know what I'm saying? Like they were known to, you know what I'm saying, do it dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like talk about not going through Stapleton, not going through Park Hill. We couldn't go through Rosebank and Newdorp Lane type stuff or whatever. We get caught up in hangings and type, you know, racist type.
It was hard to go food shopping at whatever, bro.
And that was going to Stapleton?
Say that again?
That was going to Stapleton.
Right, well.
What Klass was talking about.
Right. See, okay. Vanderbilt split Stapleton and Park Hill.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically the neutral ground for both sides. So everybody would
But it
meet
also
there.
splits Stapleton and Rosebank.
Right, also. And Tompkins leads you straight to Rosebank.
Right.
So what happens, like first, all right, what he's saying is an actual fact. We would war a little bit first with the little eggs and stuff. Then we raise some shit, get some more eggs, get some more powdered socks and all that other stuff. And then, yo, let's head to the bank.
Oh yeah, the powdered socks.
I was just gonna ask about that.
Yeah, I
Walter,
forgot the
tell us
powdered
about the
socks.
socks. I want to know about the socks. I never did hear. Yeah,
Yo, I forgot about the powdered socks.
tell us about the powdered socks. What is that?
We would load a sock up full of powder and egg or whatever and just start beat. It was like homie's little thing. Homie the
Yeah, like
Clown's little.
homie don't play that. Whoa.
Yeah, it was that. It was that all day.
Yeah, don't wear your new clothes.
Yo, we was fucking it up. Don't do it.
Yo.
You don't waste all your money doing that. Don't do it. That was not the time for you to rock fly shit.
Who?
Nah.
I'm so mad.
And at that time, niggas was rocking velour outfits.
Or the velour getting
outfits,
egged and powdered. Oh.
tearing it up. Don't do it. That was a no-go. Don't do it. You was a target for some silliness like that.
What?
We was walking out with hoodies, clothes that we wore 2 years ago.
Facts.
That was a gift.
Facts.
That was a gift. That was
all your dirty wear.
Yeah.
And you know what is so ironic about that? The powdered socks, they don't really sell powder too much because they say, you know, the talc in the powder cause cancer, and the eggs is damn expensive.
Yeah.
But
that's they made a hell lot of money off of us that time.
I'm telling you.
Paid off
I'm telling you.
Man,
so
I'm gonna be honest. We used to look forward to those times, yo.
Hell yeah.
Those was real fun times. That was like get back for us. For all year that them vanilla people was doing dirt.
Facts.
We was like get back. And we used to go in there. Yo, I'm telling you, they had to rebuild their neighborhood once we left.
Every time.
So it was really hell night for them. It was really hell night for them. That night represented what they built for them.
Wow.
And they got it back. They got it back from the people that they was doing it to.
Wow.
That's exactly what that was about right there. Because we lost a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was terrified going through there. Like I was trying to say earlier, it was hard for us to even shop in there. We only had one shopping center, which was the A&P.
A&P, right.
And everybody went down.
Yeah. And it was hard for us to do that.
Yeah. And so
when they put the Western Beef on Bay Street, that was a blessing.
Facts.
With the vanilla people.
So everybody was going to that place, and you see them all the time.
With the see them all the time.
It was hell trying to get out of there. You gotta hope you could get out.
And they had motorbikes. They had bicycles.
Hold on! Oh wow! Yeah, remember the fields? Remember the fields? Yo, yeah, they had 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, all of that. They had this thing called the 8-track.
Y'all was getting it worse because y'all had the swamp, and that's where they was racing at.
Facts. Behind the hill was all swamp.
Yep.
We used to go skinny dipping in the pond and all that. Thank God we never caught leeches and none of that. But
freaking tiger or something.
Nah.
Fleshy.
Nah, we that now that I think about it, it's like, yo, we was one with nature back then. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing to climb trees and pick acorns and different things like that and all that type talk. Like when you think about the way it is now, you know what I'm saying? Like they got rid of all of that type of stuff. So, you know, we were privileged. Like we knew how to do Boy Scout stuff back then. You know what I'm saying? We could make fires. We knew how to, like, we could really survive.
We had one apple tree. We had one apple tree, and that was near Bailey Seton Hospital.
Damn.
Everybody picking apples.
Yep. One apple tree.
Wow.
Yo, but I got a confession. I got a major confession. What? This class is in session with this confession, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's the rhyme right there.
we had, you know, with Dreyfus, Bertha A. Dreyfus, we had a few wars, Stapleton and Park Hill, but like again, if I'm not mistaken, 1987, the summer of 1987, I don't know what I did at home, but I ended up on punishment for the whole summer. I was on punishment. I was on lockdown. And I never forget, before I went in to jail, to household motherly jail, there was a rec posse, junior rec, and baby rec posse. I literally did the whole summer in jail. Couldn't come out, couldn't be with my friends, couldn't see nobody, nothing.
Damn, and summertime was 3 months.
In the summertime. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't remember. But
you better call your mom.
Yo, peep it. She probably watching this. Yo, the first day.
Bring her on so she can tell us.
Check it. The first day out of jail, my first day of freedom, my first day out. I'll never forget. I remember walking. I remember because I lived in 160, and I remember walking up to 180, and nothing was like it used to be. And I'm like, yo, where's this one? Where's that one? Where's this one? Nothing. So I go down the block. I go down the block to 141 where my brother was at. And I'm seeing people together that I'm like, yo, what is 180 cats doing with 141 cats?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
320 cats doing with 350 cats. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? So my brother, yo, check it. So my brother and two no-bills, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, my brother was like, yo, there's no more baby rec. He said, you are now a member of the Devil Paws. I said, Devil Paws? It's like, yeah, we the Devil Paws now. So, all right. That's exactly how it happened for me. Know what I'm saying? So now school starts, know what I'm saying? And we go into school, and I remember writing on the class chalkboard, it's like Devils with an S, posse. And I'll never forget Bass from the Devil Posse. He was like, yo, this nigga don't even know the name of the crew he with. Yo, we Devil Posse, not Devil's Posse. Look at this Devil's Posse. What is he doing? Like, they made fun of me with that shit. I'm brand new, right? I'm like, all right. Erased that, Devil Posse. And I became red. You know what I'm saying? And my brother is black, so the mantra was red and black. You know what I mean? And at the time, you know, I was a little dark, pretty boy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like red lover. You know what I mean? And then it's like, nah, I gotta have something ruthless with it too. So it's like, yo, then I inherited the mantra Red Devil. And the confession, I actually started a war between us, the Devil Paws, and the Gladiators. Now, this is an ill story. Check this out. So my moms and my step-pops, they had this thing going on where they would take rented videos and duplicate them. And they created a big library in the house, and they would sell them to the hood. I mean, rent them. They was renting movies to Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? And one day, my mom and steppa was like, yo, you got to go return these movies. I'm like, where? Bayware. Bayware? On Bay Street in Stapleton? I'm like, yo, I got to go to Stapleton?
So I'm like,
yo, look, ain't no telling mom no, right?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
All right. So now, peep game. Most of all the Devil Pies, we used to hang out in 140. And we used to be on the roof. The roof was like called the Devil Domain. And in the back of 350. But mostly, if we in front of 140, there was like always a school bus. So probably one of the residents drove a school bus or whatever. We would be all over that school bus. Like everybody be all over it. And I never forget, Sight was on the top of the school bus like this. Like just laid back like this and shit, right? And my brother and everybody, they all right there. So I'm like, all right, there go niggas right there, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. But you're going to Stapleton. So it's like, yo, you need a weapon. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, the little baby hammers was the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'm taking this hammer with me. You know what I'm saying? Boom. See my brother, I'm like, yo, you got to come with me to Stapleton. He like, nah, I ain't going to Stapleton. I'm like, yo, moms want me. I gotta bring these movies back to Bayware. I'm like, yo, you gotta come with me, man. Like, I ain't going to Stapleton, bro. I'm like, you gonna let me go to Stapleton by myself? He's like, yeah. So I'm looking at everybody. Ain't nobody trying to go with me, right? So now I'm mad. Like, fuck, man. I gotta go to Stapleton, man. So yeah, I take the best around route that I could take.
I already know what route you took too. I can just imagine the route, yo.
I take Vanderbilt. I take Vanderbilt down past Barely Breathing.
I knew it. I knew it, yo.
Cut around the long way, right? So I'm like, yo,
that was a torture walk.
Look, I'm like, yo, I should be good going this route, right? I got there comfortable, safe, boom. Here, yo, here's your movies. Like, PJ, boom, boom. Yo, tell PJ I said, what's up? My stepfathers knew everybody, right? It's like, all right, peace, boom, boom, whatever. Mind you, I'm like, what, 11 years old, right? So, like, boom, headed back. I'm like, man, that wasn't none. People, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I get back around Bay Street to the corner of Vanderbilt, turn up. So I'm coming up, I'm good. All I see is the pastures, like, yeah, the green pastures. I'm like, yeah, I made it. All I see is home. You know what I'm saying? I get in front.
Just when you thought it was safe.
It's just that front of barely breathing, which we call barely seat in hospital. So I get right to where the opening for barely seating is. You know, it got the gate, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and then it's that opening for the entrance and all that. I get halfway across the entrance passage. David comes out of barely seating. He come out, he peeps me. He sees me. He's like, all of a sudden, he got that look, and his head goes down, and he's just watching me. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, you talking about Rep?
David. I don't know what his tag name was, but
Big Rob's cousin?
Probably. Know what I'm saying? Dark skin, whatever. That's my man now, but yo, word is born. Him. You know what I'm saying? Right. So him, I don't know who the rest of the people he was with. So he peeped me and his eyes went low. He was just watching me. And I'm like, oh, yo, you know how you get the heat rush and all that? I'm like, oh, I got caught. I'm like, damn, I got caught. So I'm like, yo, let me just put a little more pep in my step. You know what I'm saying? They coming out. You know what I'm saying? But God's honest truth, they just let me go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I cut in, instead of continuing up Vanderbilt, I cut in to Park Hill Lane. You know what I'm saying? To go up Park Hill Lane. So now I'm coming up Park Hill Lane. Now this is to set the picture, right? I'm coming up Park Hill Lane, and it's a hill. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you coming up a hill. You know what I'm saying? To go over the hill, to go down into the hill, right? Mm-hmm. So as I'm coming up, what do I see first? I see the head of my man's sight. Because again, when I left them, they was on top of a big school bus. He's still laying on the school bus on the top. So if I'm coming over the hill, the biggest bus or the foundation or whatever the case may be, I see his head. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, now I'm mad. I'm looking at these niggas. Everybody just chilling. I'm like, word. So I had to go to Stapleton by myself, and here they are. I done bumped into a gladiator, and here they are just sitting here just chilling. I was like, nah, it ain't going down. I guess this was my shiesty before shiesty, right? Cause I'm still red, right? But I'm like, yo, nah, I'm gonna get these dudes back for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make them pay for this one. So I done did some Axel Foley thinking in my head, you know, Beverly Hills Cop fast thinking, you know what I'm saying? Come up with a quick lie and all that or whatever. So boom, I put the hammer in my hand, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, mess with my face or some, I don't know, just like, yo. I'm coming. I'm like, look at y'all. So y'all just sitting there while I go through Stapleton and niggas try to front on me and look at y'all. Like it ain't nothing, right? I'm just amping it up. Yo. So Sight, he see me, he's watching me, and I'm just mad. I'm just like egging him on, like, yo, man, this and that, whatever. So Sight jumps off of the bus. My brother, everybody come running up to me like, yo, what happened? I'm like, nothing, man. Y'all ain't even want to be there with me. I'm glad they niggas try to front on me and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I had to swing my way up out of there. Like, yo, man, I was ran. No. Lying, straight line. It was all lie. A big lie.
Unbelievable.
I had no idea what I did. I had no idea what I did, honest to God. So the next morning, it was foggy as whatever. It was super fog out. Like Mother Earth knew that I done fibbed a horror movie, a horror show. You know what I'm saying? So we always used to meet at the Osgood, at the Osgood Vanderbilt corner by the phones and by the mailbox. We always met there before we went to school. Everybody that came, I remember hearing, yo, we ain't going to school today. We going in there and we gonna handle these dudes and we out.
Mm.
And then my brother came. When my brother came walking, all I remember, when my brother came walking up, he said nothing to nobody. He said nothing to nobody, and he had that look on his face. And as we walk into school, I just kept saying to myself, I done fucked up. I was like, yo, I fucked up. Because now I done set my brother off. When my brother get mad, he gets serious. When he's serious, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't say nothing to nobody, not even me. He gave me a pound, but he was like, nothing. And I'm like, oh man, I done created something here. So we get into school, and on the first floor was special ed. The whole corridor is for special ed. And God bless, you know what I'm saying, my other brother, you know what I'm saying, Sent, you know what I mean? He was in the class just wilding. I mean, he was wilding to where he was throwing desk and all type of whatever. Like, they couldn't control Sent in school, for real, for real. Mm. And I just remember walking past his class, and he was wilding on the teacher, just wilding. And as we kept walking, who's coming from the other way? David. And whoever he was with. And I remember two nobles walked right up to him. It's like, yo, what's up with you and my man? You try to front on my man? And I remember he put his hand in his face, and they put each other hands in their face, and from there, it started. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody get boom, 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 boom. And the rules for the devil pass was, don't run. If you run, whoever run, we get in you when you get home. You know what I'm saying? Don't run. Stand there and take it like a man. And we would do this thing where we would always flip our hats to the back. You know what I'm saying? We always wore red triple fat goose and all that or whatever. My mom, she would never let me get a red triple fat goose. She wouldn't let me get it. When we was getting red triple fat gooses, they made me get a green one. I was so mad. But anyway, boom. Got it in right there. But it was a short one. They broke it up. So it's like after school. It's like, all right. So boom, we left. We went straight home. So it's like, yo, you know what's so funny? We went and chilled in the woods. We went and chilled in the woods behind 49. And we went
all that at the school?
After all that, because we couldn't go home, truant officers would have got us. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be on the street.
Right. So you hiding.
So what we did was we put some money together and delegated cats to go to AMP, the same AMP he was talking about in Rosebank, because the woods actually led to there. So we went in the woods, went and got cold cuts and bread, sandwich meat, all that, or whatever the case may be, juices and all that. And we stayed in the woods until it was what time we got out? Like 1:45 or something, right?
Exactly.
And we was like, yo, get ready, yo, we going in. And when it was almost time for school to end, I don't know how, because there was no phones, there was no social media, but somehow, no, we went home, but then we had to dip, like we had to sneak back then. There was so many ways to get around Park Hill, like to cut through the back and going through one section and come out through a whole nother section. Like there was so many different corridors and all that or whatever. So we utilized those, but got word that, yo, Stapleton, Park Hill after school. Man, it was time for school to end. We are all at the top of the hill. And
just waiting.
They started coming after school. They started forming at the bottom of the hill. So it was funny because we would chase them. They would come up. We would chase them back down. Then it would be more of them. They would chase us back up. And then there would be more Park Hill cats coming. They would chase them back down. And then it was all like, they just had it was just girls, everything or whatever. Gladiettes, they called them. And they would chase us back up the hill. They would chase us back up the hill. And then, like, instead of running home, dudes was like, ain't no more running. Flip your hats. So everybody flipped their hats back. We had these white and red pinstripe turtlenecks, Cucini or something like that, or whatever the case may be. Like we used to always coordinate our looks. You know what I mean? And that was it. And the first two to fight, God bless, you know what I'm saying, Stapleton's own Silas Clark. You know what I mean? Him and Sight went at it. Boom, boom, boom. I remember Sight threw him up against the car or whatever. It started looking like he was getting a little of the best of him. And that was when everybody just piled on. And they started getting that Sight or whatever the case may be. And then we all just had to jump in. And it was like haywire from there. And another, how it all broke up, like we was fighting. And then it was always knuckles though. Like it was always with the hands, you know what I mean? But how it broke up, the way it broke up, I never forget, because it was like, yo, Big Den. And he came with like a gun or some shit, like a hammer or whatever. And everybody was just open. Yeah, Big Den is here. What? And we all had to disperse. He had a gun. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I think Wild Tracks got kicked out, or he left, or something. He's not here.
Oh, word? But yeah, yo. That was that joint. Let me see if we can get him back in.
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you.
There he is.
Yo, I was here, and my screen just went gray and shit. Yo, like I was trying to fix it, get that phone ever since. But I was about to comment on what he was talking about with that fighting situation.
Nah, it was ill. Yo, I just let it be known. Big Den dispersed it. Big Den came with the hammer, and I think God bless the dead. Rasheen was on like, yeah, Big Den is here. What? Big Den is here. It was like, yo, see, that was Rasheen right there. The spirit.
There was a number of incidents like that. I think that time when you were talking about, y'all came down Gordon Street.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
remember that.
We was running back and forth.
I
Like we
remember
would
that
chase
day.
y'all
Yeah,
down,
that's
y'all would
it.
chase us
I
back
remember that.
up.
Yeah,
Whoa.
because I remember that day vividly. Because we had
Wow.
the
Yeah.
we had all went to Yankee Stadium the weekend before all of that, and we came back with those mini baseball
The
bats.
mini baseball bats. Facts. Facts.
And
Facts.
I remember that day. So and I remember when Den come down with that thing. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And yo,
yeah.
you know what's so funny? One of our boys, Eugene ran. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Eugene ran. Well, he
Then
got
homegirl
scared,
took
he
the
ran.
floor.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? With us. He was with us and shit. He ran. And when we got home,
No good for him.
he got the devil, he got the devil,
He
he
got
got
the
the devil beat
universal.
down.
Yeah, I got the universal.
He got the devil beat
Yo, you
down for
can't do
real for
that,
that.
that door swung both ways on both sides of the fence, because when Stapleton go to war, if you there, you best to stay there. And at the same time, ain't no man left behind, too. You know what I mean? With some real army shit.
Yo, they made fun of me. They made fun of me because you know who attacked me? Kiana Black. She was snuffing me from behind. Boop, 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 boop. I'm like, yo, what the fuck this bitch? They like, yo, it's like, Red. They like, yo, Red is fighting. He fighting the girl. It's like, yo, she attacking me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Jardine. Oh my God. Yo, much love, man. Yo,
Yo,
the Gladiettes.
Stapleton was about that shit, yo. And, yeah, it's crazy that you said that, yo. You brought that up. That shit just hit me like it happened yesterday.
Facts. Facts.
'Cause that was,
Man, that was
on some
crazy.
decent, that was the only time that y'all actually had came to Stapleton that deep to bout like that. Because matter of fact, that same year we had that big riot on the top of the hill.
That was it.
Mm.
That was
No,
that
it was
was
one
that.
after that. It was
Well,
one
it
after
was
that.
yeah, actually it was a few. It was a few. It was a
Yeah,
few, but that one right there, that man. Yeah,
that was it.
actually, yeah, that actually opened up a few of them, yo. For
Yep.
real. For real.
And I think that was our graduating year from 49.
Exactly.
That's damn, B. There's a whole lot of shit that was skipped too, yo, because all 3 years that we was there was nothing but drama. But
Every
that right
day.
there, that was a key incident right there, though.
Every
That was
day. But
definitely
nah, that was my confession. That was my true confession. This is his story. You know what I'm
right.
saying? This is his story from the other side. Facts.
That was it also
And I must confess, and actually, with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I owe all my boys an apology at the time for that. You know what I'm saying, like, cause I was just more mad. I was more mad that they chose not to come with me, and I was just a spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? I could honestly say that now as a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
now,
Because when I
but
saw them,
then
nah, like
you
I'm
gotta
saying,
recognize too.
if you looked
You
at from
gotta
my
recognize the
peripheral,
fact.
if you
But
looked at from my peripheral, these dudes is chilling, and these is my brothers. You know what I'm saying? All of them, they were my brothers, and it's like they chilling, and I'm like, yo, I have a mission. I have to go on. And y'all
Let me say
like,
this real quick.
nah. And then
Let
I
me say
come
this real
back and
quick.
y'all still laid back chilling. Anything could have happened. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, but yo, check it though. On some real G shit, you gotta keep it a buck. It's not just them that apology should fly out too, because at the same time you was given a pass that evening.
Facts.
You was given a pass that evening, and that caused a whole big set. Now, what if this man had went off and started letting loose?
Facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts.
So that apology should stretch a little further than that, yo.
Nah, yo, word. You know what? You know what I'm saying? I never even
Yeah.
thought about it like that. I never even thought about it like that. And you're 100% right. You know what I'm saying? Especially to David. Especially to David. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, he gave me that pass. You know what I mean? And at the same time, I exaggerated the truth and I caused the war. You know what I'm saying? And everybody involved, Solace, everybody, Big Rob, you know what I'm saying? I remember Big Rob and Rennie was going at it. Rennie, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I I owe everybody involved an apology straight up because that was definitely foul. That was some shiesty shit right there. You know what I mean? For real, for real. For real, for real. And it was definitely uncalled for. But then again, you know, again, I was a spoiled brat. You know what I
I was
mean?
gonna say
And
you
used to
heard
having my
it.
way.
But you know what
Whoa.
though? You know what though? That was the beginning of the end of the whole bullshit, yo.
The
You know
beginning of
something?
the end to all the bullshit.
But we
Yeah.
didn't know that. We
Nah, we really didn't.
we couldn't have knew that.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
nah. But I
We
mean
couldn't
that
have knew
right
that.
there though. Like if you think about it, because little minor shit happened after that. And still it could have got ugly, you know?
Facts.
But for some odd reason, that following year, tables had turned to where it was a peace. It was a truce. Because we both towns was big on that alley. You couldn't go to neither town without having some type of fear in you.
Right. Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Because
Now,
it's so close together too, and like I said, you guys see each other all the time.
right. And like you really do the knowledge of it. I thought that was growing pains, B, because for us to have that one, we was in 5 block radius, but one street split. You know what I'm saying? And the losses on both ends of the fence was felt on both ends.
Right.
The
Yeah.
following year, for all the unity on both ends, B.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tell us about with on that note, tell us about New Dorp Central.
Oh man,
Yeah, tell
that
us your
was a
story.
different beast right there. That's a totally different beast right there. We in the heart of vanilla people land.
Okay, you guys said vanilla people and is that referring to white people?
That
Okay. Okay, I never heard that term, so thank you for clarifying. Okay, vanilla people land, okay.
right. I mean shit. They call us colored. I don't see us changing no color at it not one time. You can mix vanilla with everything.
Yep.
I'm like this though. Them people, we were in the middle and we was in that New York was called really Central. That was Central Staten Island. So we
Okay.
in the middle of the most craziest shit ever on that island. So both neighborhoods had to come together just to go to school.
Yes. Yeah.
Because now when with that being said, we can lead into some shit to where it was a real serious racial war going on. Because they try to tip buses over on us.
Yeah, I actually caused one of those. I actually got kicked out for inciting a riot. We had a riot in front of the school, and I got kicked out for it. Wow.
Yeah, yo,
Actually, I
that
Tip
was
was
already
crazy.
over
bad. They
buses.
told me I was on my last strike. I was on my last strike, and the fight that I had in front of Nuda, it just caused the end. It was the end of my demise of Nuda. Wow.
So they actually tried to tip buses on you guys
Yeah,
over
we
there.
was on the
Yeah,
buses and they was
yeah, yeah,
blocking the
yeah,
buses. They was trying to tip those buses over.
yeah.
Did
And
you
it wasn't just the kids, their parents was with them too.
what?
Yep.
Wow.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
yo, the devil paws beat up a kid. He was sitting at our lunch table. We were claiming tables at the time, and this white
Yep.
kid felt comfortable. and he was cool with this African dude named Unisa, and Unisa was actually at our table, and he came and sat with him. And by the time we came, it was like, yo, get this dude up out of here. And he felt like, nah, I ain't have to do that. So he ended up getting it, and come to find out, his parents was mafia. His people was all mafia.
These white people?
His people was mafia for real. So it was one of those. Like
Oh, no wonder he
at
felt privileged.
At that time, the island was ran by the Banana family.
Facts.
No wonder he mafia, all that, feeling the privilege, huh? Wow.
True. But we also dodged the bullet because even though we had people coming up there, I remember my step pops came up there with his guns. Eric Medina brother came up there with his little crew. You know what I'm saying? But they came up in there. That was on a Friday. That Monday, when we came in the building, it was 6 of them, and they was right there in the lobby. And when we walked in, they already knew who we was, kind of like when they looked at us, I could tell they knew who we were. Like, yeah, that was done right there. But then again, we had that kind of stigmata, and I already know. I came in with all red, so red is not hard to find. Who's red? Oh, there you go, all red with the afro.
I think Nudo was the first to have metal detectors.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Because Concord didn't have them.
You walk through, or they scan you?
No, you walk through. They don't scan you. You walk through, and then it was like you had to go to the front desk. You know what I'm saying? And if you clear, you clear. You know what I'm saying? Because people definitely bringing weapons to school.
Yeah.
You know, that was a tough time, yo. It was really a tough time. Yo, the 90s was crazy. Like, we had hella years in the 80s, but the 90s has really got out of hand. Well, but it changed a lot. A lot of things had turned over to where things started getting unified in certain neighborhoods.
Okay. So is it safe to say that New ended the rivalry of the Gladiators and Devil Posse? If I'm saying it right.
That was a start.
That was a start. Okay.
That was a start.
How did that come about? Because you were just getting into it.
Well, you talking about like the Universal part? Yeah, we got unified, for the school purpose. That was business.
Okay.
Outside of that was personal.
The way I remember personally,
I get it.
Like it was raw. It was raw. But then it's like, now here we are. We in Noodle. I joined the football team. Me personally, I joined the football team. And once I got on the football team, there was Stapleton dudes on the football team. And
so unified unity.
We had we had to go to camp. We had to go to camp, and that was like to spend a week away from home. And this is how I remember vividly, you know what I'm saying? And here I am in camp with, you know what I'm saying, cats from Stapleton. Matter of fact, damn, who was Buddy Bush? He was an upper class. Kyle, Ill Blunts. We shared a room together, and he was actually a sophomore.
Stapleton.
he was a year ahead of us, and he was a sophomore, and this guy right here, and a few others came after, but in camp, yeah, it just was like, yo, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We ain't doing that, but
it's
we
like,
here for a whole new purpose. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and now like our purpose at that time was for us, yo. And everything was set aside. Anything that was going on amongst us was set aside.
Yeah,
It was
it
set
had to
aside
be.
because it was about our goal at that time.
Right.
And also, we were still dealing with the same mess. We were still dealing with the same mess with them other people, you know. And sad to say, you know, at the end of everything, it all was. It's not sad to say this, but it ended up okay. But we couldn't forget that.
Right.
We couldn't forget that because it was too much for us coming up already. For you
Right.
to add on the extra strain to our upbringing in the neighborhoods that we come from was uncalled for because we didn't go there for that. We never brought no traumas to you. You know what I'm saying? So for you to think that this is all about you and we ain't supposed to be there, that was all wrong. Because if we wasn't supposed to be there, we wouldn't be there. We had more than enough schools to go to instead of sitting up in up in New York.
Yo, but New York was huge though. I ain't going front.
Yeah,
My
it
first
was.
time in there, I was so amazed in New York because New York
New
was
York looked
broken up
like
into
a mini.
wings.
Yo, New York looked like a mini campus of a college.
I always
There's
looked
so
at it
much
like a huge
people.
mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get
North wing, south
everybody.
wing, west wing, east wing. I was
The
like, I want
center
my
wing
house like this.
was crazy.
So and you get everybody all in one place again.
Yeah.
Everybody got to deal with each other every day. Not to mention life struggles, right? Living in the projects, and then you get the racist thing. You know what I mean, to deal with, and all of that, and it's all in one place.
Yeah.
I had sex with my first white chick in the
Oh my God.
in the third floor east, heading toward the west wing.
We're in the
bathroom.
auditorium.
No, the faculty
In the
bathroom. Yeah,
auditorium?
we used to chill in the auditorium, but nah, in the faculty bathroom. Word.
Faculty bathroom.
Faculty bathroom. Word. And the girl that I was trying to make my girlfriend, she was a twin, and she was Asian. And true story, she was in the Big Daddy Kane video.
Oh.
She was in the Big Daddy Kane video. I don't remember which one, but I remember we was in class. She was like, "Yeah, I was in the Big Daddy Kane video."
Talking about that sexy chocolate video. We came up with that.
What?
All right.
I don't know. I remember it's a scene where they having like a picnic, and it's like basically on a park, laying on a well, he's sitting on a blanket, and there's a bunch of girls around him rubbing him like this and whatever the case may be. She was one of them. Huh? That was a sexy chocolate video?
Yeah.
I gotta watch it. All I remember was that part right there. And she was like, "Yeah, that's me. And I look and I'm like, "Oh," and she was a twin. Her sister name was Danielle. I don't remember her name. That's funny. I can remember the sister name, not hers. But her sister name was Danielle.
I think I know what you're talking about, though.
They were twins. They were twin Asians.
They were top heavy, right?
Whoa. She was in my class,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Slim, top heavy, blonde hair. I know exactly.
Nah. She didn't have blonde hair. Her hair was black. Her hair was black.
But her sister hair was blonde.
Probably. Danielle, probably.
Like, brunette or something like that. I know it was light.
Probably. But
I think I know
her sister,
exactly who you're
her
talking
sister
about.
didn't like black like that. Know what I mean? But she was okay with black. Her sister, she was more for the Guidos. Yo, you remember the ball busters? she was for them type of cats.
Yo, Danielle and your sister, if you're listening to this, come up and correct this guy, okay? Tell him your name. Tell him your
wait.
name.
Patricia and
Oh.
Danielle. Patricia and Danielle.
Exactly, I know who you're talking about.
See, had to stir up something.
Whoa. Damn.
I didn't know you was dating her.
Yeah, yo, that was, man.
She was with it, yo.
She was in my class. Like, we was with each other all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Yo, matter of fact, I hit something in the dugout. I hit something in the dugout of the baseball field, too. I don't remember who it was, though. I just remember we used to always go cut out of certain classes and go to the dugout. But, yo, the principal name was Miss Gabarra.
Yep.
Miss Gabarra.
I got some shit to tell with that shit, yo.
Miss Gabarra is the one that escorted me out. She was like, DeHaven, you only got one more. She's like, DeHaven, you got one more time. One more time. You up in my office. You are out of here. You are out of here, DeHaven. You are out of here. I'm like, okay. And because my second strike was, we was on lunch. And you know how we would have lunch on that. We would go on a platform like where you could come outside, and it was like a balcony or whatever. And downstairs were other kids, and I took the fire extinguisher and I sprayed them. You know what I'm saying? Because it would come with all the smoke. I made the smoke or whatever, and I just sprayed the whole fire extinguisher or whatever. I got in trouble. It's like, one more time.
Hold up.
Yo, real talk. You know what's so ill about that? When she kicked me out, she gave me my walking papers. I had to go to Concord High School. And I was so mad and scared of Concord. Concord had this reputation. I'm like, I will go to Concord. Concord is crazy. They don't know what they're doing. They're not even smart. They this, they crazy, they this, they that, they this. Yo, let me tell you something. Concord was the best thing ever. That ended up being the look. By the time I got to senior year, I was drunk and high for our class, how you call it? Our class, senior class. I was drunk and high, and I was sleeping in class, had my head on the table, all that, knocked out. And yo, on everything, they came in, they called, they had a meeting, or they like a vote. It was voting for class president and school president or whatever. And all I remember is I'm sleeping. And when I woke up, they woke me up. It's like, congratulations, go up to the front. I was like, what? What happened? It's like, everybody voted for you. I was like, voted for me? Like, what? So the significance of that is every year, every peer leader of every school, Newdorf, Susan Wagner, McKee, both McKees, Tech and regular McKee, Curtis, all of the high schools, peer leaders will meet at a designated school, and they will get a chance to meet the borough president. That year was Newdorf, and who gets to walk up back into Newdorf after getting kicked out, and who's still a principal, Miss Gabarra. And now here I am coming in with my damage. You know, damage had all the holes in it and all that, whatever the case may be. So where they wear suits, I wore the suit, the denim suit or whatever. So here I am coming in with my dreads. I had dreads at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was the Feli kid, so I had the Feli headband with the damage matching outfit or whatever walking in. looking straight hood. Every person in there was white, all of them, or excuse me, vanillas. All the vanillas was up in there. The borough president, they all looking like, who is this dude? And Miss Cabarrus like this. Oh my God, come here, sit next to me. Oh, how are you? You the peer leader of Concord? Oh my God, you are so impressive. Oh my God, kissing my whole entire Harlem Night style, my whole entire. And afterwards, she was like, "Yo, can you come talk to some of my bad kids?" You know, she had a bunch of children in her office or whatever, and I agreed to go talk. And what was so dope about that is I talked to those kids, and I kept it as real as possible. And ironically, many years later, yo, some kid came up to me one day. Some dude came up to me one day. He was like, "Yo, you don't know me, do you?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Yo, I was one of those kids in Miss Cabarrus' office, the principal's office at Newdorp you came and talked to, and I wanted you to know, yo, you changed my life, yo. Thank you." It's like, wow. Facts,
Nice.
bro.
Nice.
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Trax? Your crazy adventures at Newdorp. Yeah.
Man, that was the running back man right there, man. He was our running back. He was
Tell
doing
us
his
about
thing.
that. Tell us about because I really wanna get into how you got into the game of music, hip hop.
Oh, all right. Oh, that was
So
before,
tell
that was
us.
before Noodle, way before Noodle. But like where you want me to start? You want to talk about the music or
Talk about your history as when you was a young kid or what Klass was talking about at Newdorp and all of that, and how you got
well,
from there the influence of your
all right. First, as far as the music situation, like we already went through the 49 stuff.
right.
I started DJing very young. I was always up under my father. He had
Oh,
he he had a lot of shit. He had a lot of music, a whole lot of music. And every time he turned it on, I was always in the living room, just listening to his stuff. And he used to always ask me why every time I come and turn this on, why you? I was like, because I want to listen. I like to hear it. And my cousin used to live right next door, Big Ron. He started DJing. He was just getting everything together, and my father was giving me things so I could have my own little sound and stuff like that. So we just mixed everything together, and we had our own little crew. Started throwing parties and stuff like that, and we didn't really know too much what we was doing.
but just going
But
for it.
we just went straight. We just dove right into shark school. You know what I'm saying? So
Nice.
man, that we that went on for years, for a lot of years, and I think once I had got into high school, I got tired of DJing, and
Okay.
I was inspired by RNS on making
Okay.
tracks, and I was out doing my thing, whatever, getting bread, whatever. I was doing it, and it was him. I was getting all his old gear that he didn't need, and he was teaching me how to use certain things. He was selling things to me or whatever, and that's when I had got my first set. And I started making tracks, learning and everything, learning. I didn't know how good I was. I let it
So
just
like a soundboard, you got your own soundboard and all that.
everything. I
Wow.
had track boards. I had a Kai 950. Got a keyboard from my boy Nate, rest in peace. Um, I had a few drum machines.
Mm.
Oh man, a lot of vintage stuff too. I wish I still had, but
So you started making beats.
Yeah, started making music because I got tired of listening to other people's music
Yeah.
and I wanted to hear my own. So I had ideas, and that's where it went. And when I started, I didn't know that when I branched off to do that, a few other people started doing the same thing. And I've been doing it now for a long time, very long time. I've been doing it for over 25 years.
Wow.
And every time when there was a window open for me, it ended up getting closed because I ended up doing something stupid.
Mm,
Their relationships also, stuff getting destroyed, and me moving and I'm getting the help I didn't need. You
right.
know, so but now I'm in a situation where things is pretty much together. I still have my studio, my in-house studio, just not
Good.
here now. I got to bring everything from where it's at over and rebuild everything again. But I still have it,
So
and
you so not to mean not to cut you off, but I just wanted to something came to my head. So hip hop and you getting into the music and doing your own and everything like that, it was a pivotal time in your life where your whole mindset as far as coming from yeah, as far as coming from Stapleton and all of that, how it influenced you.
hmm it,
Tell us.
it yeah, yeah, that also it was like therapy for me too. Because a lot of things, like I make my music on account of how I feel, and man, I have so many tracks, it's ridiculous. But overall, that's my go-to and everything. I love music, always loved music. I had that's therapy for me.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
types of
it
music.
is.
I'm universal with it too. I listen to all types of music. If it sounds good, I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah, yeah. And so your influences and everything, what you experiences, it motivated you to write. You write lyrics too, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's not something that I'm real big on. I can do it. I can
Okay.
do it. If I sat down and put my mind to it, of course, I could definitely do it. I've done it before. But my main thing is production.
Yeah,
Is the
yeah.
production part of it. Yeah. And
And
that's
that's
more
cool.
best way, is more best way for me to express myself through my music.
All right,
'Cause
all right.
like with me, I know I'm built for the lyrics because I do have the tongue for it and the wind for it, but I'd rather not get into all of that. I'll leave that to everybody else.
Yeah, creating beats is your thing.
hmm Yeah.
Is your thing. And coming out of yeah, and I know I'm kind of jumping around, but for sure
hmm
I want you to tell us your side of New Dorp Central. Tell us.
Well, Noodle was crazy for me, man. Like my freshman year, ooh, like I said, like we both me and Klass went through basically the same thing. Cause I mean, I got held back a couple of times, so he was there before I got there.
Okay.
But when I got there, I was I was there when I wasn't supposed to be there. But when I got there, when I'm supposed to been there, it was still the same experience. And I ended up breaking fingers fighting one of the vanilla people. Punching them in the head and shit and all that craziness. But that it was a lot of stress going to that school, but I also had fun. I did
Yeah.
have fun, and the fun part of it was when things started calming down was when we was going to football camps and stuff like that. And my
And
my extracurricular activities in school that I wasn't supposed to be doing and stuff like that. Being met by the principal, me and my boy L, in front of the school because we used to light that school up. We would do things you wasn't supposed to be doing. For real. Like we used to light that school up. Like they had to do a lot of spraying.
What you mean by spraying?
Like they had to get that smell, that skunky smell out of the building.
Oh, oh, okay, okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Were you so? Were you part of? So were you what? Were you part of the Devil Posse? No,
Gladiator.
glad you. Oh, so you were gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gladiator.
What was
Yep.
like? What was it like for you? You know how like Klass said he was young. Were you that young too?
Yeah, I mean, it was stages. It was from like when I first moved to Staten Island, like I said earlier, was we didn't move directly to Stapleton. We was in New Brighton first. And then well when I was like around 7 years old, I ended up in Stapleton. And at that time it was the Paris crew.
It was a what?
The Paris crew, Paris.
Oh,
Paris.
okay,
And that was the end like that era, that was my uncle and all of them.
okay. So the
Um
old school guys.
Right, exactly. Then it transitioned over to Black Posse.
Okay, Black Posse.
Yeah, and it stuck like that for many years. And in between the transitioning from Black Posse to Gladiator Posse, we was Whammy Boys. This
Miami
part of the
boys.
situation, this story right here is where Tez should have been around for this conversation because what what we went through to be a Whammy Boy was something totally different becoming a gladiator. You know,
Mm,
it was really different. Like you,
like the criteria is different
way
from.
different. It was separate. It was outside, but it was outside of Black Posse in the transition of gladiators
Okay,
because everybody
okay.
was still black. It was Black Posse still at that time. Then the gladiators came in full because it was just a few members when that started. You know, one of the original members is a affiliation with Wu, and that it was a big thing behind that. That
Mm-hmm.
GP, yeah, that is a whole big thing between that. I can't really touch too much on
Yeah,
that because
yeah.
it's
We
just
don't need to
really,
talk
really
about that
sensitive.
because
Yeah,
it's
it's really
like
sensitive. It's really
uh,
sensitive.
the
And I'm gonna just leave that where it is. But
yeah.
as me, a gladiator, shit, man, Stapleton, being in Stapleton alone, you couldn't live in Stapleton if you didn't know how to fight.
Mm,
If you didn't know how to fight, you was better off staying on your balcony in front of your door. The only way
yeah.
you would leave that building is with your parents or
Wow.
someone that was you know someone that can hold your hand basically. Because if you went downstairs by yourself, you was getting tried. You would have to. If you didn't know how to fight, you knew how to fight by the end of the week.
Oh yeah. If you want to survive.
If you want to live, yes. Stapleton, them streets was very mean. Like, and still to this day, it still holds some weight, but not like how it did back then. But trust me, those times were serious, very serious. To where even the law was scared to come in there.
You know, I had talked to Keitez a couple times. I did a little interview offline, and he had mentioned about that, like um because I had mentioned this before earlier. It's kind of like everybody got to see each other. So it's like if you see each other and in everybody's face, that's why I keep going back to, the one meeting place of that one store, and then at New Dorp, like everybody is over there. So the tension is always high. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
feel like the tension is always high like that, and it's something that you got to deal with every day, you
Well,
know?
all right. See, we never had to deal with that in Stapleton. We. I don't know where this boldness came from, but we felt that we can go anywhere and
Mm,
do anything freely. Like we didn't have to really rally up to travel.
okay.
Like if anything, you'll see a couple of people at a time, three people. It was never like we had to travel in a pack because we really knew how to handle ourselves. It's not a time where one person from Stapleton had a one-on-one that did not end up having to be jumped because it was hard to handle that person. Just that
Mm,
one person. Now I have been jumped by the entire Park Hill.
wow.
Yeah. And it was this one weekend, me and my cousin, one of my homeboys, we went to the 160 to go get some weed, whatever. And they had a game room down there in a basement. And that's when the RoboCop game first came out. And we went to go get some bud, whatever. But one of my peoples wanted to play the game. So while we playing the game, I'm feeling all the heat.
Mm,
Like, I know something about to go down. I felt it, you know, and it was just crazy. From when we left, we were surrounded by more than 50 people.
wow.
More than 50 people. One of my people's from there, from the hill, which is Sight. And I love that dude. I will always love him. He got beat up that night trying to stop the situation from happening
From his own?
from his own people. You know what I'm saying? Because he real recognized real, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, basically they didn't heed the warning. They didn't heed the warning. So when things went down that night, I got beat. But I made it home. That's where he messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Once I made it
Mm-hmm.
home,
It was
people
it.
had to pay for it. Yeah, people had to pay for that action. And that's when I learned for every action there's a reaction. The reaction from that was a terrible consequence for them. So,
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
this day, the certain person that caused that situation, when we see each other, it's still like I ain't gonna lie, I feel some type of way, but that was so long ago, some child stuff,
Yeah.
to where that it wasn't worth even, it wasn't potent enough to have the energy.
Yeah.
You can still see the hate in that person's eye. You dig?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's just leave that alone, but
Yeah.
I do some things. There was a whole lot of changes with between Stapleton and Park Hill, but I am
Yeah.
glad the fact that things is the way it is due to certain entities and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and we all gotten a lot wiser to realize what the real battle was, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
That's nice. That's nice. And so when you talk about the changes and all of that, and you guys mentioned about playing football.
Hmm.
So, and that's where it had to kind of like come. That was the beginning of the end of the
Right.
rivalry. and all that. But I want to know about you with football. I know K-Tez
I
too.
had,
I know
yeah,
K-Tez is a player too.
yeah. I was good at what I was doing. To where that if I didn't choose the streets, I could have been somewhere.
Like professional college, professional
Like yeah,
football.
I was on my way to college. I was on my way to college, and I chose the streets, and certain things happened where I almost lost my life and couldn't run no more. So that situation was dead for me. That part of my life was dead as far as the sports because I couldn't run anymore.
Is that because you chose the streets?
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's why it
'Cause,
happened.
yeah, I got shot. I got
Well, I'm
shot.
glad you're here to tell us.
Yeah, I am too. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everything happens for a reason. It slowed me down. It didn't put me in park, but it did
Nope.
slow me down. You know, and a lot of things I have now I didn't have then, and I value life more now than I did then because at that time I didn't value life too much. You know,
Yeah, it was whatever, whatever, and anything goes.
right, right. But you know, it's still in me. It's definitely still in me because you know I just don't live in a smokehouse. I was born there,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for it. But at the same time, I do know how to choose my battles. You know, and a lot of things is not worth it.
What
Knowing
position
what I
did you play again?
huh?
What was your position for
I
football?
was a running back. I had a couple of
Oh,
positions. I was a running back. I was an outside linebacker, and I was a punt return.
okay. See, all star football players. For real.
Yeah,
For
pretty
real.
much.
For real. Yeah.
And I played my positions well. You know, I mean, it really if my mind was focused then, and my you know my short my if my sword was sharpened then to where my third eye was open a little wider and I was seeing things clearer, I would have made a different decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just that you know everything was moving pretty fast still, and the things that was happening is what I wanted faster than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? Where that was getting me, which I almost paid for that.
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask you that. What made you choose the streets over, your talent as far as being a talented football player? I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
the
fast.
poverty, yeah, it was fast. The poverty level was very high, and opportunity wasn't there for us like it was for the privileged.
Right. Right. Yeah. I understand that. I understand that. Wow. That's wild. That's and so from then you okay, so you went I'm sorry to ask this, maybe personally, did you end up going to jail
Yeah,
at any time? Okay.
a number of times to where I don't want to go back. I tell you that,
Yeah,
unless it's really worth it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I had I had swim in many oceans with many different sharks.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
definitely. Went to jail, went to prison. That was it. I had I had slid past a Fed situation. Thank God, it wasn't enough for them to keep me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. So
Hmm.
being out now and when you think about your past and everything and growing up in Stapleton, if you wanted to sum up everything, I know you had mentioned it before, but sum up everything as far as growing up and around that and all that, how would you, what kind of positivity would you like to tell the people that are going to be watching this, that's watching this, as far as that? Because, you know, we living, I see it, I see the world as like, it's it's still happening, but it's worse because it has, you know, more dangerous drugs. We got
Mhm.
people just freaking whacked out, you know, just doing all craziness. For the young ones, you
Mhm.
know, what would you say as far as a word of influence to the
All right.
audience?
I still have young ones out there. I'm gonna say exactly what I'm gonna say to these young ones that I will hope will be watching and listening to this, because this world is not what it seems. It's not what it
Mm,
seems at all. The best thing I could say for any young child is to really just listen to your parents, listen to pay and respect your elders. Go to school, get all the education that you can get. All this social media and cartoons and stuff, leave all that alone. Open a book.
yes, read.
Give yourself the energy to channel into them words and picture everything you're reading. Make your own caption to what you're reading. Do your best to excel at anything that you do. Even if you don't know how to do it, learn it and be the
Right.
best at it. Don't try it, do it. Because to try is to fail. Just do it. If you can't do it, just drop it. Pick something else up to do. As long as it's positive and it's going to lead you in a direction that you should be going, that's what you should do. Everything else that
Isn't
you see, all these old dudes like myself out there getting and stuff like that, you don't know how they got it. Just do it the correct way. You don't need to be out there getting high, selling drugs, whatever. You just, man, it's just I really,
speak.
it's not enough. It's not enough. It's really not enough words I could say to them. The only thing I could say to them is just keep their head up and don't let nothing put you down. Don't let nobody say to you that you can't do it. You can
Yeah,
do anything that you set your mind to.
yeah.
That's basically it.
Wow, wow. That's good. That's good. That's a good coming from, you know, an experienced, I mean, I don't even know the terms or whatever, how to say it. I don't even want to say gang because it wasn't a gang, it was a posse
Yeah,
type deal coming from
it was like an extended family.
extended family. Yeah, because gangs is kind of a different term. I don't that's why I don't want to say that. But yeah, extended family. Um, because from the stories that I hear from Klass and yourself, even when I talk to Kates and some other people that he's associated with and everything and have history together, I hear no matter what, like how the respect was there, like how you said, respect your parents, respect the elders. The respect for elders was
Hmm.
there no matter what you guys was going through or doing or, you know, made choices to whatever fights and claim and protect your territory and your people and, you know, and all your boys and everything and got each other's back no matter what. Even though if you guys were young, still I hear that the respect was there for your elders. And I believe
Hmm.
that if you have respect for your elders, you're going to learn how to have respect for everybody out there,
Yep.
you know. even if, and learn how to pick and choose your battles.
Yep,
Which
exactly.
I'm sure that you guys had to do
Oh man.
a lot on a daily.
And be honest with you, them roads was paved, and it was paved very thoroughly. The road that was laid down before us and the road that we laid down is very stern. The only thing is that I fear that the generation behind us not learning from what we went through, what we try to teach them, will be the
Yeah.
failure of the generation behind them. And in a way, also, I'm glad you said that. In a way, also, I feel that my generation got a little selfish when it came down to
Mm,
school, the generation behind us, because we just started thinking about our family. We didn't start thinking about the community anymore. We was just our immediates. We got real selfish. Just we sheltered ourselves in our homes, and instead of going out there and doing what the generation before us did, we just kept moving. Like we didn't have the energy to do what they did, to have little sessions with the generation behind us in groups, and have them sit down and talk with them and explain to them on what it can be. We let them grow up watching us, thinking what we was doing is what and how it should be, and that's not it. This is
mm,
why it's the way it is today. Because if we did, the outcome to everything would have been a whole lot different. Because as you see today, everyone's for self.
everybody.
Yeah, everyone's for self. There's no unity anymore.
Yeah, you hear
And
artists like, "Oh, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, take care of
yeah,
yourself," but people
yeah,
getting it twisted, right?
yeah. Everybody got it all messed up. It's all it got really messed up. Even what we started as the culture, is our music, that got watered
Mm.
down. That got watered down. Why? Because we neglected to teach. We was taught all the music that we listened to, that was hip hop. Prior to us, that was all hip hop. Now they got rap crap, trap music. I
I
don't
like
listen to that
that. I
shit.
like that.
Yeah, it's trap music. That shit is garbage. I don't listen to that shit. It don't make no sense. It's real disrespectful. It has no structure.
Yeah, talking about some bullshit for real.
Yeah, it ain't no growth in it. Everybody flashing this, flashing that. You borrowed that stuff. You don't own it. That's all you did. And you told me I got this, I get you ain't got shit. Now people dying for that. People that you hung around with is robbing you.
And everything is about flossing
Yeah,
and showing
come
your
on.
shit. And with that said, I wanted to, okay, get this rapper. His name is Sauce Walker, and we're talking about respect and how you just mentioned, like if you guys had invested more in the generation after you, then it would have been totally different. Like the way the generation before you had kind of, because there's no real time anymore. Everything is so fast, there's no real time. It's like you gotta put in extra to make that time, which was already supposed to have been given as a part
Took
of
that time.
responsibility.
Yeah,
But there's this rapper, and I just could say, because this really riled me up, because I don't know if Klass told you, I'm from Hawaii, born and raised in Hawaii. I'm very cultural with my culture and everything, from the land, the environment, our beliefs and our practices and protocols and everything. But this rapper, I don't know who he is, Sauce Walker. he went up to a sacred place in Hawaii, and he was over there flossing. Now that tells me about how the disrespect is not. I mean, the disrespect is evident in the generation. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I really really get what you're talking about. I really do. I really do. Um, but I wanted to also, before we end and all that kind of stuff, because I know you gotta go to you have a
Yeah,
limited amount of time.
yeah.
I wanted to talk about. I mean, I wanted to ask you who and what is your 10 top rappers on Staten Island? You know, to become, yeah,
10?
to end with a positive note. Yeah.
I don't know about 10. I can give you, I can give you, I can give you a few, quite a few. Um, on the island. I can't go in order, but I'm gonna say Ghost is one.
Okay.
June Lover, June Lover. That's one. That's the same person. Jux in June. The June Lover. That's the same person. Him.
Okay.
Uh. Hmm. Oh, Kappa. Wordsmith.
I heard of him. And of
Yeah,
course,
he's Wordsmith. Um. Oh, Jizza. There's a lot of Wu members. I don't like to really speak about them too much, but yeah. But as far outside of that, this damn man. I don't even know what their names are. What they call themselves nowadays.
oh, because it changed. They change up
Yeah,
their names.
yeah, yeah. Like Sid, Killer Sid. He was. I didn't even knew he was. I never knew he was rhyming until he was on that Killer Armor joint. Matter of fact, went on with matter of fact, Sons of Man. Him and Madman, and we all went to school together. Um,
And oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
See, when I talk about the talent.
yeah, it's a lot of talent, a whole lot of talent, man. But my favorites, nah, man, it's just really, I don't have any favorites, really. I don't have any favorites. I just know some real good artists.
Well, we got the three that we need.
Right, well, yeah, yeah, pretty much. But definitely, I gotta put Jux up there. Have to put him up there. Have to. Yeah. But yo, man, it's just a lot of talent out there, man. It's hard.
Yeah, but
It's so much work out there. With as far
lyricist,
as
download
who that
record
there
got
is?
the
Hey,
word.
what's up? How's it?
Who that there right there?
You see me?
I see you. Well, who is you?
Oh, you don't know who I am?
Oh God, man. I would see my phone is still working, man. If it would have broke, then I would have knew exactly who it was. Nah, I know.
Okay,
That's
tell me who
right.
you are.
I'm Abdullah Jamil Malik. Everybody in the world knows me as Funkadelic, though.
Okay, that's the name I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Welcome.
When it comes to the tempo,
Oh man. Where you get that bit from?
what you
Yo,
say?
yo, put your chin in your shirt, yo. You show your age. What's good, man?
That's that wisdom being on this earth for 48 years, man. You know, we survived the terror dome, you know?
Yeah,
Hey,
I was just giving her a little insight on that. I didn't want to get too deep into it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Certain
yo, right.
you can't speak on, but you know, just know we went through a lot of battles, lyrically and fighting. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
united, you know. Today in the 21st century, 2023, some of us are here to talk about, you know, the brotherhood that we have for so many years. Like we known each other since second, third grade. You know, to have history that long and to never beef with each other and all that's a bond you just can't break. You know, we lost a lot of good brothers coming up. You know that we
Yeah.
tell it, or we have to show them pictures because they don't even know who their parents are.
Yeah. That's a fact.
But
I was neglecting that part, you know, because it would have got too emotional for me.
yeah, Staten Island has a lot of talent. Let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Stapleton, New Brighton, Manus Harbor, Port Richmond, you know, Rosebank, you know, even going all the way down to Prince Bay, Huguenot, Annandale. There's talent all over. What separates, you know, back in the day when we were little, they put all, you know, the African Americans in one area, and then, you know, the Caucasians moved to another area where now the Caucasians want to come to our side again, and they want to move the African Americans back, you know, South Shore way. You know what I'm saying? But
You already know the mathematics behind that, Jack.
before
You already
the
know that.
you know, the Gambinos and all of that, and Staten Island was just known as the forgotten borough. You know, waited over there for better living, you know, to escape Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx. You know, your mother wanted you to live better because it was more quiet and peaceful over there. You know, you got to take a ferry boat or you got to ride that Verrazano. Everybody got to come now to get to Jersey. Let you take the George Washington or the Turnpike, but you got to come through Staten Island.
Yep.
30, 40 minutes before you hit that Bay or before you hit that Gotham's Bridge to go into New Jersey. You got to hit us before you get that Turnpike to go I-95. So you got to come.
Hey yo, dudes sleep all they want. I'm better than your favorite rapper. Forget all that, man. Word up. What up?
Yo,
What's
you got
good,
too
bro?
much love in your blood to hear all that hate, man.
Inshallah, you got work, and that's why I'm late to the interview. But I came up listening to, you know, Superman Lover, 1979, great album. I fell in love with hip hop. One, it was a way for artists to communicate with us on another level without the drugs and the, you know, the gangs and stuff that started in the
Common
Bronx.
level. Everybody's on a common level together.
Yeah.
Yeah, common ground.
Like I was just saying, it was about teaching.
The struggle, and we all trying to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
It was leading the path. It was a whole bunch of knowledge and us being led down a righteous path.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. Just
Nation, African Bambaataa, everybody was into the 5%er, you know what I'm saying? Because those boroughs was like real deep in it, you know. Even my uncles traveled from Queens and Brooklyn, both to Harlem and cards. So that was another lingo for us. Then it got real popular in the penal system. You know, a lot of black brothers up there in the mountains where they wanted you to be blind and, you know, be told what to do and all that. So, you know, brothers would get and build and make each other stronger. It was like a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Then you had, you know, so on, Chinese gangs and da all over New York City. Even when you look back at the history of New York, where we were just not known for that. We were known for, at a young age, because we got the stock market, you got all those good jobs. Everybody say, oh,
yeah.
It teaches you how to be a businessman at a young age. Also, you have to learn.
That's where the hustle come in.
The hustle is already in you from when you come out your parents' womb. Because, like I said, of somewhere. I know, my mother having me and my brother so young, you know what I'm saying, and not the physical man being there, we learn things very, very, very young. I learned how to ride the subway and learn New York City at 7 years old.
Wow.
You gotta learn that train system. You gotta learn those boroughs. You can't just stop on 42nd Street. You may get somebody say, "Oh well, go 2 blocks and hit 48th and make a right and you're going to left." No, you have to find that for yourself. So you got to know that train that's going to get you close to your stop, and then you're able to travel from there. This is why Manhattan is so important and so big, because you got to know where you're going. There were certain places you couldn't go back then. You can't just go into Chinatown like that and think you're gonna walk around and all. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. When 42nd Street, the real 42nd Street, was pimps, hoes, and this and that, you liable to get stuck up at the arcade on 42nd when we used to go run to go watch karate movies and skip school and go play video games, because we got to see the women at a young age walking around showing their bodies and all that. But we didn't understand that they was out there making money. They had to make a living. I first met a pimp.
I gotta leave this session, bro.
What you say?
I gotta leave this session.
All right.
All right,
Get my man from
Huh?
Klass. You hear me?
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Wild Tracks. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time.
It was good having me. It was good having you. All right.
Nice to meet you. You have a blessed night.
Y'all all the same.
All right.
Brother.
Peace.
Thank you. Wild Tracks, guys, from Stapleton.
Yeah, boy.
And we got Funkadelic in the house. Perfect timing, because he had to go and you showed up.
Yeah. I mean, I was the other day when we had Klass on the phone. We went. It was like it touched Klass for him to hear, some of the knowledge that we was able to spread upon him on the upbringings coming up in Stapleton, being able to migrate and move around to different parts of the island, Park Hill, West Brighton, New Brighton, Port Richmond. Even when it came to going to the other side of the island where the Caucasians live, we went to school out there. Our school was an hour and 40 minutes from where we lived,
Yeah.
So it was there. And then them guys seeing how we live and wanting to come to the project, we're like, yo, you don't want to come down here, man. Stay over houses. We had them young guys coming to school with Benzes and all that. We pulling up in rentals and stolen cars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, poopties.
And like, listen, you went to the DMV and got your license? I got my license too, because it was only about a good 4 of us who was of age to take a driver's license. A lot. Where today they don't even have a license because they done accumulated so many tickets from back in the days that But
they said forget it. They said forget it.
I'll go with no license and just take my chances of not getting pulled over. That's just
Right. So welcome. Oh my gosh, you just came in. Welcome. You gotta tell us from. I mean, I know you already started telling the history and stuff like that, but I want to know so you are from Stapleton, right?
Well,
you part of the I don't know, the crew, the posse.
It started off Black Posse.
Yeah.
We went to the Gladiators. Let me start Paris crew.
Okay.
Rest in peace to Tony Reagans and the Paris crew. They was the first ones to really put it down for Stapleton, with singing, with rapping, whatever, looking fly, wearing the wallabies that we wear today, dressing fly, silk shirts, dress pants. They set the origin for us to look good, and showed us how to treat women. Most women on that island tend to like Stapleton dudes because of our persona and how we were, not our swag and all that, because we knew how to treat them respectfully to them. We had our own style. We was always original. You know what I'm saying? We was original with everything. Also, you got a lot of smart dudes. You know what I'm saying? Education wise, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I went to read none of that stuff, and I was like,
Where'd
"Yo,
you, I'm sorry, you got cut out. Where'd you go to?
I went from PS14, which is right in back of the projects, to IS 49, which is Birthday Rikers, was right across the projects,
Okay,
and
okay.
then high school, which is an hour and 40 minutes down Highland Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Lane, which is in the Caucasian side. You see what I'm saying? But then you had
Oh, I
certain
learned
people
a
that
new term, vanillas.
then you had people that went to school at Curtis High School, McKee High School, McKee Tech, Susan A. Wagner, where else people went? Tottenville High School. So you had a mixture of people going to different high schools and also junior high schools, and was from these, these Stapleton, Park Hill, New Brighton, West Brighton, Manus Harbor, Port Richmond. Arlington too, which was way out before you get to Jersey. So let's show props to Arlington as well. They was just like closer to Jersey. Like you look off their terraces, you see New Jersey right there.
Wow.
So you had to, really kind of know people in different parts of areas to go out there and hang out and chill. Like I said, it was a lot of beefing going on back in the days as you growed up. We played sports. We had the SAC, which was baseball. We had the PSL, AL. You know what I'm saying? We played football. So we was good with the rest of those guys from those other boroughs because we played sports with them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Saturday,
Yeah.
we out there playing football. You know what I'm saying? T&J Giants, this team. So as young, we're connected and be able to go to those other projects and, playing with those groups. Then, when that was over with, and then here it is, this team, this project beefing with this project, we ain't pick a side. As long as it wasn't nobody that you violated from Stapleton, you was good. Then when the music,
you had to put that stuff on the side.
Yeah. When the music came in and everything started uniting, big shout out to Shaheem the Rugged Child, Pop the Brown Hornet Download Record, June Lover, Wow, Fu Manchu, Renegade. Who else we had? We got a bunch of guys out there that's just full of talent.
Yeah, tell me about your history in the music on Staten Island. Tell me about that, or tell us. Excuse me, tell us, the audience.
I was a fan first. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling Klass, I went to Wild's house and this guy got turntables in there, letting them sit, and I'm like, son, you nice. Why you ain't letting people know? Why you hiding it in your bedroom? You need to be letting the world know who you are. You got two cousins out there who do beats, and they sitting here being scared. Let the world know your talent. You know what I'm saying? Me, I was just a fan. I used to collect records, collect tape. Used to have the Word Up magazines and all that sort of taped in my bedroom too. You know what I'm saying? My mother bought me a stereo and turntables. I didn't want to get on there to be scratching. I got on there because my genuine love for the music. And then I had my brother who was a music lover as well. And, like I said, he was with the UMCs. Shout out to Haas and Kim, Noel and Phantom of the Beats, Mabutu, all them cats, that crew right there, the UMCs. They was rolling with them and everything. And I just started paying attention to a lot of detail with that and collecting music. My favorite rapper of all time is KRS-One. Knowledge Ring over nearly everyone. KRS-One was so deep. He just, from 87 on up, the battle against MC Shan. If it wasn't for MC Shan, we wouldn't even know about KRS-One because he brought that out. But like I said, first love of music came from Curtis Blow. You know what I'm saying? These are, you know, the Superman Lover song. These are the breaks. That was in 1979. You see what I'm saying? So at a young age, we listening to
Wow.
Sugar Hill Gang. My mother had all the records, African Bambaataa, all that. So I got a taste of all the types of music, and then, you know, the old school, the Delphonics, Stylistics, all that. The Hey Love days. I got to listen to that at nighttime. Now you remember back then it was 8 tracks when you stick it in. I used to sit there and push the button all the time just to rewind the tape back so I could hear what they saying. Incorporate it, like, wow, what if this was on a beat and a rapper was to sing this, or KRS One, or oh, my Fat Boys. Cannot talk about the Fat Boys. Buffy and Prince Marky D and Kurowski, I had all their albums. You know, I had my few, and then, you know, coming up means LC. I roll with Onyx. Rest in peace to my boy P.I. I came up with the Lost Boys as well over there in Linden Park. I used to play basketball over there all the time, and not realizing I was playing with Mr. Cheeks' cousins and all of them. And these guys would come out with the speakers and plug it up in the lamppost and be out there doing their stuff, along with Tribe Called Quest, who was up Merrick Boulevard. We used to go to the park and listen to them as well. And then all the big block parties that we had in Queens. You know what I'm
So
saying?
this is your humble beginnings, like how you said you was a fan, uh, in your history into the music and your influence, your inspiration. Oh,
But raised in Brooklyn and Staten Island. You see what I'm saying? So I was back and forth. My mother lived in Brooklyn. I would go back and
okay,
forth, live with my grandmother. And then I had family in Long Island, Elmont area, you know what I'm saying? And EPMD was out there. Chuck D was out there. And I was so little, I see these guys like, oh, I know them. Yeah, I'll be right there. And, you know, I hear firsthand their music. And then here it is 3 days later, I'm hearing it on the radio. Like, I heard that already. You see what I'm saying? So
wow,
to be a fan, and even now, I love the new generation music that's out. I wish they would be a little bit more lyrical, because
I'm
I don't want to
telling you,
hear about jewelry. I don't want to hear about Percocets and drugs and all. Hip hop starts with lyric. People want to hear the lyrics, and in them lyrics, you got to send a message in every song you have. Because if that's the case, then what is your song? You
yeah,
know, how much ice you got, or millions of dollars you have, and all. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about lyrics. I want to hear you spit
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
They don't even freestyle. Freestyle is off the top of the head. They can't even do that. You
No,
spitting something you got on your iPhone or something already. If somebody put on the beat right now and tell you to freestyle, you're just supposed to be able to go. That's the difference between 87, let's say 79, all the way up to the 2000s. That's why everybody said they like the 90s and the 2000s, because you had the battle. I think I was watching the other day the Cannabis in LL, where Redman was like, when we went to go do the song 4321, they didn't even know he was talking about L. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, because Cannabis was hanging around him and Meth and them guys, and he was like, why would you do that? This is the GOAT right here. The man got the microphone tattooed on his. L started off at 14 years old. But
wow,
before him, he was in Hollis making noise already. You know what I'm saying? His hometown. So it's already embedded in him, you know? And he did destroy Kumo D and Ice-T. That man went out there and made pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings in Cali. Then he made the song I'm Going Back to Cali. Then he killed Ice-T. You know what I'm saying? Kumo D wasn't even no match for him.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
See, I like all that battle stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's not too many places that do that stuff now.
Like,
Not too many rappers or or who call themselves rappers today.
yeah. I remember when they used to do the battle rapping where Remy Martin made her name Lady Luck. All these people, they don't even do that no more. They don't even do that no more. Now it's like you can get signed so fast, where back in the days you couldn't get a deal like that. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to be marketable. They want you to change yourself up. They got all these artists going out here changing their appearances.
Commercial.
You know what I'm saying? Which being commercial ain't nothing wrong with it. But again, we talking about lyrics. You
Yeah.
want something like, for instance, I could put on Cool G Raps in the Streets of New York album. I listen to these types of things while I'm driving in the truck. Cool G Rap, Master Ace, Craig G, Big Daddy, old stuff. And their old stuff, none of these rappers today can compare to. I listen to
No.
Jay-Z's
No.
album, In My Lifetime, Blueprint. The stuff they saying back then, still relevant today to what's going on. And none of these can compare to that. Like, okay,
No.
you got the baby from Atlanta. All he does is auto tune. Right? The baby from Charlotte is better than the baby from Atlanta, but because he's here, they giving him more praises. I like NBA YoungBoy. I like Kodak Black. I like what's the other dude name? I like Rowdy Rich. I like all them dudes. Those to me, the dudes that's not just making songs, they lyrical to me from what I hear. Because I listen to that. I got that Piff live mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get real because those don't get played on the radio because you got to have the app of that.
Right.
So I'm listening.
Yeah.
Easy got the new Snowfall album out. Fire. Future. Fire. All these dudes from New Orleans and stuff like that. New artists. Fire. You'll never hear of them.
So with all that influence on you, tell us your history as far as you getting into the game and your music.
Oh no. When I was young, I think it was like 10th grade. I did a song with my boy Pesci. He from Bay, Staten Island, Caucasian brother. I did like 4 or 5 songs with him. I played around, didn't, want to pursue it. I used to spit, for ghosts and all that sometimes and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I think I was calling myself Frank Nitty the Hitman. I watched a lot of the movies, you know what I'm saying, and I would take a character and portray them in my rhymes, you know what I'm saying. Then I switched from Frank Nitty to Funkadelic. When Redman dropped, I was already spitting Funkadelic because I was watching them. I was into the Parliament so heavy, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm a music lover, so I would literally write rhymes, but I wouldn't recite them. I'd get somebody else to recite them. He might sound better. Not saying I didn't like how my mouth sounded on the microphone. It's just it wasn't me. I was into other things.
What about Dangerous Minds? Tell us about Dangerous Minds. Let's get to the nitty gritties. Tell us about that.
Dangerous Minds, my brother created that. I was there from the very beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? And I must say, 2023, Dangerous Minds now is called Black Heart Records. So there's a name change. So Dangerous Minds is now called Black Heart Records. That's the name of the label.
Black Heart Records. Okay. Tell us the history about Dangerous Minds.
My brother Quaz has a vision that's just so far-fetched. I consider my brother one of the hottest producers. Not being biased because he's my brother, because he's talented.
Oh yeah.
Long time. Where now my nephew, shout out to Zeph McFly. You can get him on Spotify. Zeph McFly, one of the hottest producers in Shaolin and a lyricist. I don't think there's no one touching him right now. Not lyrically as far as his music. No one. You know what I mean? Not because he's my nephew, because I'm a true hip hop head and I know the music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ty Larry. That's another good lyricist coming up. Who else is out there? Ya from Stapleton. He did this song with Shaheem. Of course, shout out my boy Trife the God. Shout out
and
Tommy.
Is this is not these are affiliates of Dangerous Minds?
They Stapleton cats.
Oh.
They've been around my brother because of who he been around. Shout out to RNS, one of the the dopest producers ever to touch a board. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Phantom. These are all Stapleton dudes who have with that. No better. Yes, yes, y'all. Cool Breeze, Dark Skin Assassin, Faith, Finesse, Leatherface, King Just. You know what I'm saying? These are all people who's part of the family. Mark Morrison, one of the illest R&B singers ever to touch. Lady Glaze. You know, the list goes on. These are people who came up under that Dangerous Mind family. You know,
Okay.
and them the music wouldn't have been what it was. It was a different new sound for Staten Island.
Yeah.
Choose. Um,
And
you,
Dangerous Minds is, tell us about that. I want you to tell us about Dangerous Minds.
I was part of the merchandising. I did the clothing line for Dangerous
Okay.
Minds, but I would come to my brother's house late evenings and hear what people laid down. And I came one time to when we did the video. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull it up. The Dangerous Minds video, where they was doing the album. Most of Klass Initials project is on that Dangerous Mind DVD. You know what I'm saying? The Struggle. Shout out to
Okay, I was just gonna get onto that.
Carlu and his brothers put together a phenomenal DVD to rep guys from Shaolin who are up and coming, who was in the industry, you know, who got their feet wet. You could take it back to, you know, like I said, my brother running with the UMCs with Noyle and Phantom of the Beats, which is Kim, Cool Kim, and Hash G. You know, they always do projects together and stuff like that. Shout out Nova too, out there in Florida, and Gary G. They had their thing going with the rap too. You know, I grew up listening to them guys as well. Shout out the Not Born Click. You know what I mean? Iron Mike and them fellas over there. You know, like I said, The Dangerous Mind was a compilation album to just bring out all new talent, whether they were from Stapleton, Park Hill, West Harbor. You know,
Yeah,
shout out
yeah.
to Big Hugh Hefner, my little cousin Tyke, my little cousin Matt. Shout out Dom the God.
So you in the struggle, the DVD, you said you're vice president of Dangerous Minds?
I was president of the marketing and merchandising. I
Okay.
mean, my brother gave me so many titles. You know what I'm saying? I just was going. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just was come. You know, sit at the house and be his little one that he could be a stress reliever. You know, all long day at the studio, such and such ain't show up to do his track or this track. And then I would see them in the street like, yo, go lay them verses down, man. Time is money. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, this is your dream. You know what I'm saying? But you got my brother going 100, 150, 200% for your dream. We want to get in the studio. Don't be out here on the street. We trying to come off the streets. And all of us had jobs. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Let's go to the studio and get it done. Laughing Dog right there off of Van Duzer, or whether you go up to Quaz's house and lay your stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get the job done, man. Because a lot of people will shut you down. You don't want to come to studio session, they ain't got time for you no more. Go ahead about your business.
What about your tracks? Your favorite track or tracks on the Dangerous Minds music?
My favorite track is Terrorist Act, Stapleton Park Hill. I like the joint We Don't Know You. I like the whole album. I like the whole album. To be honest with you, I play it now. I told Klass we need to start shooting some videos for real.
Yeah.
We put that album back out because it's relevant today. That album,
Mm,
Klass
yeah.
play it 10 years from now and it's still relevant with the stuff he's saying.
What do you think? What do you think the downfall of that project was?
Um, a lot of that comes from bad business deals. Business deals. One partner not being honest with the next. One partner, recouping more funds or playing with the funds. Today, Black Hearts is the reinvented Dangerous Minds. Plus, someone else, a group out of Brooklyn, had the name, so we had to change it up anyway. Black Heart is all about what? The heart. And
Mm-hmm.
for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And Black Heart Records is totally different from way Dangerous Minds is. It's like a whole.
In comparison, yeah. Tell me, because I want to.
Whereas the artists are giving their 200%. The artist is serious. The artist is hungry. And right now, that artist is my nephew, where he's a producer and an artist. And he brings a lot of the same qualities from Dangerous Minds with the new Black Heart. He's putting on dudes that, he does songs with and stuff like that to give them their chance, their break. So here it
Right.
is again. We all about the love for the people. Because without the consumers, the fans, you have nothing. And it's always better to give than receive. You may receive your blessings differently. Them boys might make a hot track and it could take off. And that'll change the dynamics of everything. But everybody
Yeah.
has to,
Yeah.
with me being down here in the South, I meet a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists and stuff. So I have an outlet that they don't have yet. They don't reach the South.
Mm.
In, every state, Florida,
Yeah.
Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Ohio, I could reach where they can't go. Because see, one thing about up north rappers is if you're not going on that road, how you gonna get exposed? You can't just stay local in your area. You got to be
Right.
to the
Right. Support.
right.
So, Klass at the time, Klass, he fell off a building, right? At that time, and um, Star and Buckwild supported Dangerous Minds at that time, right? So, Hot 97 Star,
Yeah,
Star from Hot and Buckwild. Tell us about that.
I didn't meet them personally. I used to watch them, hear them. Matter of fact, I watched a little bit of Star's stuff on YouTube. He's the same old dude. He's gonna give you his blatant honest opinion. He's gonna give you if he sees something that's wrong and need to be fixed, he's gonna tell you about it. You have to be able to.
So they supported Dangerous Minds.
I believe
They
they
did.
have. I mean, there was nothing negative to be said. I love from everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the finance part, the CFO, the chief financial officer was doing other things. When you don't pay attention to the money aspect and where things is going and this and that, it becomes a problem. Some people don't know how to manage money, right?
Mm.
But that's it now. So people don't have to worry about that now. We a little bit grown, we more wiser, we know a little bit more about the game and the industry and how it works. You got dudes nowadays that put up their own money. You know what I'm saying? So we independent. Like me personally,
Yeah, a lot of artists are independent.
if I was in the game, I would deal with it. I am the
What
label.
about the money? Fred Hickson. Actually, yeah, Fred Hickson. I heard of him. Did he put in money for Dangerous Minds?
Yeah. I mean, him and my brother go back since they was like 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't I don't know the full whole story to it because I never really got into it. I just know when it came down to the books, it was a lot of people kind of upset. I don't know. My grandmother told me three things: don't beg, don't borrow, and don't lend. I always had my own. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when I asked him, did he need anything? He said, I'm all right. That's all I needed to hear. He didn't need anything from me. He's always going to be all right. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. So
is
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You cut out what?
because of our upbringings, our mother instilled a lot of things in us. You know what I mean? So we always going to be good. You know what I mean? We don't need from nobody. We'll get it ourselves. You see, he's strong today. I mean, the last I just listened to some tracks that Quaz had sent me a while back, and I was just blown away. Like nobody's on these tracks yet. I'm about to play them for Klass soon. You know what I mean? Like I can get everything taken care of in a matter of minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I see Klass taking off.
I've
And I
had the
mean,
pleasure of meeting Quaz, your brother, and he is very talented.
yeah, I've been
He is
going.
very talented, and I heard the tracks that he did create on some of Klass's, his music and stuff. Hot. I always said when I said, "Wow, is he's a genius. He's brilliant."
I mean, not I wouldn't say underrated or slept on because he has done tracks for Kappa. He have done tracks for people understand he's part of that 50 Cent Magic Stick beat. You know what I'm saying? Like his name is on them credits. You know what I'm saying? So you got certain producers who's quiet about what they do. You know,
Mm.
braggadocious. We ain't like that. Remember, we Virgos. He's a Virgo. You know what I'm saying? We nonchalant. You know, but
Yeah.
when you listen to Zeph nephew, who's been doing beats since he was 4 years old, I tell him you better than your father. I gotta say it. You better than him. I mean, Quaz thinks differently. I said, I'll two go at it. Let me hear the hottest beats. You know what I'm saying? They ain't did it yet, but I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, my nephew just sent me some fire, man, and I was out of this world. I know everybody's loving my boy. He makers, Young Bird, but Young Bird is sampling a lot of people's stuff. I'm talking about originality. You
Yeah.
understand?
What about Quasi's start?
Um,
Steez's.
um, that process, I think he was hungry. Like I used to go and be around my brother and watch him make about 4 or 5 tracks, fat, quick, and his drive and his poise. He's hungry, and I'm talking about hungry, hungry. Still like that today.
How do you get started?
Um, I seen him start with 2 turntables and a keyboard.
No, I mean, how do you get started doing the beats and stuff like that?
Being around Phantom,
His
being around
influence and C's?
UMCs, um,
UMCs. Excuse me. UMCs.
Hockey and Cool Kim, but they names it Cool Kim name is Loyal now, and Haas is Phantom of the Beats. So being around them, being around R&S from Stapleton, Akinelli, which is Haas G Phantom's cousin, being around Nine from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I believe he was around Irv Gotti a couple of times. He know Hove. He know Hove. So he had his little. He had his people who he be around. Gary Storm, Nova, all these dudes, played a part. He's been around them long that, when he did let them hear something, what when you started doing beat, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let's forget the most important thing. Let's not forget that Quaz was a rapper. Quaz is featured on Shaheem's first album, the track. His group was called True Wisdom, him and Prophet. You know what I'm saying? They gave the
Mm-hmm.
track, and that's why they featured on it. So that's a platinum album. So that
Wow.
people don't even understand that. was his group, him and Prophet. And the first track they gave to Shaheem, and that's why they featured on Shaheem's album. You only got 2 features on Shaheem's album, June Lover and True Wisdom, the group, which is my brother and his partner. And then they were on other. See, a lot of
Last
people.
question before we wrap this up. Your top rappers on Staten Island. Top 10.
Top 10?
Yeah.
First, I'm gonna go with Quaz first. I'm gonna go with my boy Tony Starks, go second. I'm gonna go Just fourth. I'm gonna go 5 Leatherface. 6 June Lover, 7 Download Record. 8 would be Method Man. 9th would be RZA. And then 10 would be Raekwon and Jizza. That's rappers.
Yeah.
Okay. R&B, I'm going with the Force MDs. The Force MDs was the first R&B group to do a song with the Fat Boys on the Staten Island Fair. And I told you Fat Boys were
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
That you know what? I'm sorry. Dark Skin Assassin, I put him in there too. Right there with June and because I didn't want to really put it in order, but yeah, Dark Skin Assassin.
It's just your 10 favorite.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't even say 10. I would say 20, really.
20. Even Wild Track said 10. Well, no, he actually him was like only like 3 he named.
Yeah, see, I couldn't even go with Iron Mike from New Brighton, all these guys, from Narbonne Click. You got lyricists on stage, so many. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From my era,
Yeah. Well, Funkadelic, nice to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you for coming in. I know we had bad connection and everything and trying to get on earlier and all that, but thank you definitely for chiming in on Classes in Session and telling us the history.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Anytime. I think we would have to do it. Whereas we come in person. Like I need to take a trip out there, so I want to come in person instead of this video. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we still need to talk about other things in hip hop that ain't being said right.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely gonna hook that up and talk about that and plan that out and everything.
Thank you for a good host. It was great. Your questions was great, and I support anything you need, anything from me. Hey, I got you. You did
it. Coming on. Thank you. I appreciate that.
For real, yo, on the real, yo. For real, yo, on the real, y'all. For real, y'all, on the real, y'all. For real, y'all, on the real, y'all. For real, y'all, on the real, y'all. For real, y'all. We shadow box and call me Floyd Mayweather, Lennox Lewis, Roy Jones, or whatever. I'm not Run DMC, but I'm tougher than leather. Bigger and badder, smarter, a little something much faster, sharper than ever. Contenders, I push the heavyweight, jump the middleweight, then run back up to the heavyweight. This coat, this cape, don't hate, cause I dream like a king. I end up making a call in the ring, be easy, fall back, son. On the real, y'all. For real, y'all. On the real, y'all. For real, y'all. On the real, y'all. For real, lingeries. Girls swing legs long, bright thong, belly dance to my song. Hot hand, I'm the man. On land, off land, everybody dancing, romancing. Niggas been frontin' and faking, now I'm hating. Call me star, but wow, nigga, rah rah. Thought I'd crumble, get the ball, fumble. You hate me, nigga, well guess what? Fuck you. I switch up on y'all niggas, I love you, I'm confused.